Hey everyone, I want to build a kicker ramp to work on my jump technique. I really like the size and the basic shape of the one that Blake Sampson did on GMBN, but I wanted to make some changes. I wanted to be able to have something that would be a little smaller that I could kind of play with and really work on my initial pump technique. And I also wanted to have something maybe a little bit bigger just in case I want to try to progress beyond that and work on being able to control something with a little more of a lip on it. So here's what I came up with. So this is the plan. This portion right here is the size of the one that Blake Sampson came up with. So it's got 18-inch lip to it, and overall it's 4 feet long. And I like that, but I also wanted to have something that was closer to Seth's ramp, which is this size. So it's got a 12-inch height, and it's probably about 40 inches front to back. So I wanted to design this so that I could have a removable section to make it this small, and had an additional section so I can make it 24 inches tall so that I can practice technique of jumps that have a little more of a lip on them. So the challenge is, how do I connect these pieces together quickly in the field and have it secure? So my initial design, which you'll see throughout the rest of this build, is to come up with some interlocking blocks that look like this. And this portion would go on the lower section. This section goes on the upper section. They slide together. It's nice and secure, and that keeps everything lined up. So the problem was, the first time I went out and jumped this in its full height configuration, the stress that the bike put on the lip up here pulled this out and snapped off this portion right here. So this came off on both of these. So throughout the rest of the video, you're going to see part of the assembly process where these are in place, but I'm going to forego this, and I've come up with a different solution that is going to keep everything attached, and I'll include that right now. This first piece includes the 18-inch lip. After cutting 2 of them, I attach them together and trim the back edge on the saw. Here, I'm finding the 12-inch tall spot and making it a parallel cut line to the back edge. This is the third section that will have the 24-inch tall lip. I'll continue the curve and cut the back edge parallel with the back edge of the second section. Both sections are ganged together so I can cut the bottom edge and the curve. All right, here's a good view of the underside to give you an idea of how I decided to attach the pieces. And the core of it comes down to these metric bolts that I picked up at the hardware store, and they're the kind that you use when you're putting together IKEA furniture. So this is an M6. This is actually a 50 millimeter. I'm gonna need to pick up some 25s or 30s because they're a little long. And then a threaded insert that goes into the plywood on the backside. And so here's a view of the bolts going through. And on the inside, there's a piece of plywood that's screwed to the upper section. And then the lower section has those threaded inserts in, and it just bolts together. So 4 bolts per section. Comes together pretty quick. And really all you need to have is a 4 millimeter hex wrench, which is going to be on your multi-tool. Well, as much fun as this project was to make, it's even more fun to ride. I got a chance to get out yesterday afternoon and try it out in the small to medium configuration, as you could tell from the tire tracks. I think I'm gonna have to do a whole video on breaking this thing out and seeing what it can do. If you like this project, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions about the build, go ahead and leave it in the comment section down below. And if you're like me and obviously refuse to act your age, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.